Good morning on this new year. Can you believe it? 2 years ago, on the first Sunday in January, Wilsie and I were in Idaho planning to make a trek this direction. That means then that today we complete 2 years with you here, and we have been blessed by your being here with us, by our being with you, the love that you have shown. We feel so blessed to be here. And next Sunday, of course, we'll launch the beginning of the 3rd year. But it's a great time, and we're going to have great things happen this year. I just believe it, that it is going to happen. We're going to be on fire for the Lord in 2009. I just know it. By the way, tonight, if you've ever wondered about angels, I have an angel series going, and the lesson tonight, I'm going to let you know that nobody ever asked to see an angel, because when they did see it, it scared them to death. Why? Why did it scare them when they saw an angel? Come tonight and you'll find out. But now then, I want to tell you a story about a chicken. It's not a foul story. But it is about a chicken. This chicken had a couple of eggs, but there were even more that were there. 5 eggs in all, and then somebody went out, the farmer went out and found another egg and brought it in. What kind of egg was it? The chicken probably looked at that a few times and wondered what kind of egg this was. It didn't look like the other eggs. And there came that day that, did you miss that? Let's go back and check it again. All of a sudden, something is born that was not one of those little chickens. And the little chickens looked at it. You can tell this is a parable to start with. But the chickens looked at that thing that was being born, and they said, that doesn't look like one of us. And they ridiculed it, teased it because it looked different than they looked. Gave it all kinds of problems. And as the thing that was born began to grow, it began to realize that it wasn't like them, and they realized that it wasn't like they were. There was something different there, and they ridiculed that other creature. And as the creature grew, it became evident. Papa and Mama Chicken sat up there and said, was this your side of the family or mine? I don't know what we have wrought here. But the eagle that was born did not realize it was an eagle. But it knew it was different. One day it saw an eagle fly over and thought, that looks kind of like me. I wonder if I could do that. And the chickens laughed and said, you're crazy. You can't fly like that. You're in the chicken pen here. You're one of us. So it continued just to peck the corn, be one of the chickens, even though it had an eagle heart within it. Didn't know it. It never got activated, never got put into gear. The farmer would come out every day and wonder about that eagle, if it was ever going to fly. Periodically, wind would blow through and its wings would come up, but down they would go because the chickens would laugh at him when his wings came up. But you're one of us. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do the other. You can't fly. One day, the farmer found his eagle wasn't around. He didn't know where it was, and he decided to go in the hen house and look around, and there he found the eagle. It had died a chicken death because it never knew that it was an eagle. Knew it was something, but just never could get it going. Now, there's another story that is similar to this one, about a man that was out in the woods, in the wild, and he began looking at an eagle nest. Eagles a lot of times get a little bit suspicious, and they will leave the young brood if they sense danger. Eagles also, little baby eagles will kill one or the other. A lot of times they'll have a brood of 2 or 3, but one will survive. But there was one in the nest, and the eagle was suspicious and left. The farmer realized what he had done. He was a farmer, but he was out watching, and he had chickens at home. Well, guess what he's going to do? He took the little baby eaglet, that knew his mama but didn't know much else. And he took the little baby eaglet back and put it with his chickens. The chickens took him in, and of course he just became a chicken just like our other eagle did. But there was a man came by one day and saw it and said, "That's an eagle in there. I know a baby eaglet when I see one, and that's an eagle." And he said, "Right." But he said he thinks he's a chicken. Don't bother him. Periodically, the man would come back by, and the eagle was growing. And he said, "That is an eagle, and it needs to fly." And he got in there to help the eagle. And he would throw it up in the air, and the eagle would flap a couple of times and come back down and run pecking for corn. He'd try it again. He said, "I know the eagle can fly." Well, finally, one day, he said, "I know the way that we can make that eagle fly." And the farmer said, "You cannot." He is convinced he's a chicken, and there's no way you're going to make that eagle fly. He said, "You come with me. We're going to leave at 4 a.m., and we're going to go to a place where that eagle will fly." So they took the eagle with them to a cliff. The eagle's got to do something now. It's fly or die, one of the two. And they take the eagle to the cliff. The man waits until the sun starts coming up, and he dropped the eagle. You can see the eagle try to go, "Yike! What is going on?" But as he's going down, he flaps his wings a couple of times. And as he flaps his wings, he takes off. The eagle never came back to the chicken pen. Two eagles. One dies, the other flies. Both of them had the heart of an eagle. I see it kind of like something being activated within us. That eagle, once it realized it was an eagle, gave that shriek. And off the eagle took. New setting, new way of doing things, and the eagle realized what it was. Isaiah 40, verse 31. "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and will not faint." God wants you to leave the chicken pen, and He wants you to fly like an eagle. But to do that, we learn from 2 Timothy 1:7, God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but a spirit of power, of love, and of self-discipline. That's what God gave us. But what have we done with it? You've probably seen these little lights that you can purchase that have a battery in there, but it is not working. It won't work because there's something between the battery and the terminal that has to be pulled out before it can be activated. You've seen these, haven't you? And when you pull that out, light will come on, and then you can turn it off and on with the switch, but not until. It's the same way with us. God giving us of His Spirit. And when God gives us His Spirit, power is given to us. He did not give us a spirit of timidity, but a power of strength, of the eagle, not of the chicken, but of the eagle. And God, through His grace, gave it. I didn't earn it. I don't deserve it, but by God's grace, I am given this kind of power. You ever heard the song, "Wind Beneath My Wings"? 1990, this was offered to Kenny Rogers, but he turned down the opportunity to sing the song. And Betty Midler did it. It became a top number, hit the top of the charts. Here are the words to it. "Did you ever know that you're my hero and everything I would like to be? I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you're the wind beneath my wings." It was written concerning people. And did you know we do have people that are our heroes? Nothing wrong with that at all. Pick the right ones. Nothing wrong with that at all. And many of these people do lift us up. They're wind beneath our wings. And then there are those like the chickens. Yickety-yick, yak, 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 don't talk back. There are voices that we hear that tell us who we are. I thought of a different wrinkle to this song, though. I agree, I've had heroes in my life that help put wind under my wings, but I have a special hero. I would like to see a verse added and make it a church song. Did you know that Jesus is my hero and everything I would like to be? I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause Jesus is the wind beneath my wings. Jesus is my wind beneath my wings, and I'm an eagle, but if I don't accept the wind beneath my wings that God gives me through my grace, I stay in the bloomin' chicken pen. And that isn't where God wants me to be. But voices can convince us. These voices that we hear, where do they come from? All our lives we've heard people say, you can do this, you can't do that. Good for you, shame on you. Now, the voices that we hear that are negative, did you know, have an impact that is immeasurable. I am told by people who have researched this, how they figured it out, I don't know, but here's what they say, whoever they are. They tell me that for every negative comment that you hear, it takes 9 positive ones to overcome it. You can't do this. Okay. Cluck, 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 cluck. I'm a chicken. You can do this. Not sure. We don't listen to the positive as much as we do the negative. Something about us says that people who are negative are smart. And people who are positive just don't have it figured out yet. So we listen to the voices that are negative. In fact, we have a little recorder in our heads that many of the things that we know about ourselves or think we know about ourselves have been programmed there, and we have turned it up full volume. And oftentimes when I'm trying to do something, boop, in will jump that little voice and direct my path in the way that the voices tell me to go. Voices can convince us to say, I can't do, you fill in the blank. I can't do this kind of work for the Lord. I can't do benevolent work. I can't teach a class. I can't go visit the sick. I can't, never did anything. Can't stays in the chicken pen. Can flies. Can't dies. Can flies. But many times we listen to those voices that says, I can't do. Luke 18:27, Jesus replied, what is impossible with men is possible with God. Do I rely on my own strength? Or do I allow God to be the wind beneath my wings, to take the eagle heart that He has placed in me, He has placed in you, and help us to fly? Impossible with men. I don't care what a person says that I can't accomplish. Jesus said you can too. Because if things are impossible with men, but not with God, all things are possible. 2 Corinthians 9:8. God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound to every good work. I did that on my own. Read the first lines again. God is able to make all grace abound to you. That eagle wasn't able to fly because it simply was in the chicken pen there with a bunch of chickens, and they all had wings. That eagle had a heart that God had given it, and said, now let me put the wind under your wings, and you'll be able to do the things that eagles are meant to do. Paul learned the lesson because in Philippians 4:13 he said, I can do everything on my own. No, I can do everything through Him who gives me strength. We're heading into a scary year in many ways. It's already started. How's your year gone? Well, we're not far into it, are we? This is the 4th. But there are many things happening that can disturb us and tear us apart. And we can shrink into the inner part of the chicken pen and go into the hen house and die. Or we can take the wings of an eagle and we can fly. We can do the things that God intended for us to do. But those stinking voices are out there. And the voices can convince us to say, no, it's hopeless. I just can't go on. Paul thought that once. pled 3 times for a thorn in the flesh to disappear from him. Lord, if I just can't deal with it anymore. Take it away. God said, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. My power, the wind under the wings. God said, my power is made perfect in weakness. Oh, okay. So the weaker I get, the more chicken-brained I become. Is that a bird-brained idea? The more chicken-brained I become, the weaker I am. God can do greater things. No. When I recognize my weakness and recognize I must have wind, I can't get up and flap on my own and make it up. What I meant to tell you too, the other day I was taking the Christmas lights down. This was Wednesday. And I was putting the ladder up edge of the garage there, and I looked at an eagle. And I was preparing this lesson. I just stood there in amazement. I thought, wow, what a creature, what a creature. But that eagle could not be up there if it hadn't been for the wind currents. It wasn't flapping, just holding its wings, cruising along. You're the wind beneath my wings. Eagle heart, God's wind, all can be done. Eagle's wings, no God's wind. We're not going to make it. My grace is sufficient for you. You can go on. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 tells me where to put my focus. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. No, I want to make them. No, let God be the wind. Let God set the path. Let God take you where God wants you to be. Listen to the voice of God. And where do I find the voice of God? Read this book. Every year, make a commitment to read it again. Read it another time. Because every time you read it, it is the words of God that you are ingesting. And it puts wind beneath your wings. But those voices just keep coming back. A voice says, I just can't stop worrying about. I'm concerned about. 1 Peter 5, 7 says, cast all your anxiety on Him because He is the wind beneath your wings. Well, I didn't say that, did I? He cares for you. He's the wind beneath your wings. So you cast all your anxiety on God. Do you pray? 2009 needs to be a year of examining the voice of God, listening to Him. 2009 needs to be a year of prayer. We are dependent upon God. How else can God's strength be manifested in my weakness if I don't acknowledge my weakness and pray, God, put wind under my wings? Help me to be the eagle that you want me to be. You gave me the heart. You put your Spirit in me. So this morning I'm talking to 2 groups, actually. Those who have never activated and let the Spirit come within them, and those who did activate but continue to be in the chicken pen and have listened to the voices. Cast your anxiety on Him. Worry not. And Jesus confirmed that. Matthew 6, 33 and 34. Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. That's the wind under the wings. It is God's grace. Things given to us that we don't deserve. Things given to us that we do not earn. And the eagle heart and the wind under the wings, and what a combination. Jesus said, therefore do not worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble on its own. Those voices are out there screaming. But Hebrews 13:5 says, keep your lives free from the love of money. And may I go on to say, and the love of any other thing that is keeping you from serving the Lord. And be content with what you have, because God has said, I will never leave you. Can you hear the wind? I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. Never will I forsake you. That's a pretty good promise. God said, I gave you the heart, and I'm there, and I'm not leaving you. What a wonderful promise God has given. But the voices can continue to say, it isn't worth it. I can't let go of, fill in the blank. I can't let go of money. I can't contribute the way I need to contribute. Did you see the paper this morning? I thought a beautiful article about, in the space of economic upheaval, church people in Lufkin seem to be continuing to hang with the program and to give as they should give. Now that doesn't mean every one of us, each one of us, have to examine that on our own to see what we're doing. But what can you not let go of? Money? Or is it pornography? Or is it language problems that you have with foul language that these little birds were putting out? What is the problem that you just can't let go of? Jealousy? Forgiveness of somebody? What can you not let go of? Whatever it is standing in the way of staying in the chicken pen versus flying in the heavens. Mark 8:36 and 37. Jesus said, what good is it for a man to gain the whole world, yet forfeit his soul? Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul? Reworded, what good is it for a man to stay in the chicken pen? And what will a man do to stay in the chicken pen and forfeit being able to fly like an eagle? God gave us his Spirit of grace. What have we done with it? What have we done with it? As we conclude the lesson, I want us to think about all we have said today about not the power being us. Yes, we do have power within us. God did not give us a spirit of timidity. We learned at the very start. But we've learned throughout the lesson that I don't do things on my own, but I've got these voices that I hear that tell me things that I can't do, things that I must worry about, things that I can't let go of. The voices will be there, but I depend on God for my strength, and I can fly above the voices. Romans 8 and 28. And we know that in all things God works for good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose in all things. This morning, where is your spiritual life? If you're new in our congregation here today, let you know that we'll be standing in just a little bit and singing a song. If you would like to come forward at that time, just walk down the aisle. We will have prayers with you. If you want to activate and let that Spirit be born in you, because you can be born again, as Jesus told Nicodemus, you must be born again and let the Spirit of God reign in you. Love that song. The Spirit of God reigning in us is the Spirit of God within you. If you've already made that decision, though, but you need the prayers of the congregation, this is one option that you have. It's a time, it's an opportunity for you to come forward and let that be known and activate the wings of an eagle this morning while we stand and while we sing. Won't you come?